Everyone's talking about it, but what will actually happen remains a mystery. A tied 3-3 vote in the Fort Myers City Council meeting stopped the Fort Myers Police Department from assisting Immigrations and Customs Enforcement and set off a political powder keg.
Now, threats of Fort Myers losing state and federal funds and lawsuits swirl. Wink News brought you the breaking news of the vote and the reaction. It left some county leaders surprised. Governor Ron DeSantis took to X to share his displeasure, and Congressman Byron Donalds called for their jobs. Finally, the Attorney General James Uthmeier wrote a letter to the city saying that with the vote, the City Council violated state law. Hello, I'm Amanda Hall.
And I'm Russ McCaskey. Now on Wink News at 4, we have team coverage of all the backlash. Wink News anchors Claire Galt and Chris Safadi have exclusive interviews with local, state, and federal leaders. And Wink News reporter Valentina LaFranca is listening to you, families in our community, to hear your reaction.
We start our team coverage with Claire. She spoke with many leaders and lawmakers this morning, including Attorney General James Uthmeier. What did he tell you?
Amanda, Attorney General James Uthmeier told me Fort Myers City Council needs to, quote, get in line and follow the law. He said he sent this letter to put them on notice. Uthmeier told me council broke the law and enacted a sanctuary policy when they voted down that 287G agreement. And he warned he will take action. You wrote that the council members can be removed. Have you recommended that to the governor yet?
I have not done that, but I'll tell you, the governor has authorities under Florida law to suspend officials that are not carrying out the law. Those authorities were beefed up in that special legislative session several weeks ago to ensure that when it comes to immigration, very specifically, the governor can remove officials that are deterring or impeding the response on immigration enforcement. I would not be surprised if he were to take action.
Are there any charges you could pursue, and what are they?
Sure, there is civil enforcement. This office does have the authority to bring enforcement against local governments where they're not following the law. We are looking at all the tools that we have available, and we hope that they will amend their behavior before we take more serious action.
How long will you wait?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I also hopped on Zoom with Congressman Byron Donalds. He told me he was flabbergasted that City Council voted this way, and he said he's not afraid to lay on the pressure at the federal level.
There are projects in the city of Fort Myers that I've sponsored from a federal level in the past, and it would really bring that into question. How could I go and advocate for the city of Fort Myers when they are basically going against the policies and the laws of the United States and the state of Florida? I have a responsibility to be a steward over taxpayer money, and so I take that seriously, and it would really call into question my abilities to advocate for Fort Myers if they're going to be so flagrant and derelict in not following the law, and quite frankly, not following the orders of the President of the United States. So to decide that you're going to now stand against that, well, what that tells me is then you don't think you need federal funds.
In this frozen video you see here from Monday's council meeting, you can see Councilwomen Darla Bonk and Diana Giraldo holding hands here, overcome with emotion about the issue. They were 2 of 3 no votes that caused the motion to fail. The question now, will council cave to the heat they're getting? A special meeting is called for Friday. Of course, Wink News will keep you updated. Russ.
All right, Claire, thanks. Different